Life is full of emotions. And in Kaleidoscope Studio, that's where I like to process them all. Just like a kaleidoscope. Because emotions, I think, are a gift from God. And we're going to talk about that soon. Our emotions are something that God gives us to look at the world through. Without them, the world can be pretty boring. Like black and white. In black and white, we just experience things in one way. When we're just experiencing things one way, it's really hard to see the full picture. Like, we might be experiencing like one emotion. You guys don't even know what emotion I'm experiencing right now. But I'm experiencing a big emotion. And I'm drawing about it to help me feel my feelings and figure it out. And just like life, I'm experiencing one emotion now, but in a little bit, I'll be experiencing a new one. I'm just feeling how I'm feeling, and it's really hard to see things another way. It's still kind of just black and white, and that's all you guys are seeing. See, in life, we are going to feel so many feelings around and all over again. Sometimes we're going to be scared. And if we're just focused on our fear, we're only going to see our fear. It's going to be black and white, and that is all we can see. And then later on, we might feel sadness because whatever we were afraid of happened. And now it's all black and white and just that one color. And now we are so sad. And that is all we can see. But have you guys ever seen a kaleidoscope? A kaleidoscope is full of all sorts of colors. Awesome, beautiful things. And when you look through it, you can change what you see. You just have to turn it a little bit and something else beautiful appears. We can change what we're seeing by giving our feelings to God. God can help us. Instead of feeling focused on one emotion and one color and feeling overwhelmed by the one thing that we feel, we can give our feelings to God, and He can help us see things from a different perspective. Instead of seeing things in black and white and one color, He can give light so we can see all of the colors. And no, we might be feeling sadness right now, but on the other side, there's going to be happiness again. Happiness and joy and peace and gratefulness and all of the good things, because life is full of emotion. But God gave us our emotions as a gift, not as something that should control us. We get to control our emotions. It's up to us. We have a choice, but we have to choose what to do with them. And God will help us do that. And we're going to figure out how to give that to God so He can help us make the best choices. So there was lots of people in the Bible who often felt overwhelmed and confused, just like we do. So we're going to open our Bibles and take a look at Exodus 32. So, if you guys remember the Israelites, they were those people who were in Egypt, wandering around in the wilderness for a long time, right? And God provided a lot of amazing things for them. He made water come out of rocks and manna fall from the sky. That's literally bread. One day, God told their leader, Moses, to climb this mountain called Mount Sinai. And so while Moses was climbing this mountain, people were all down below. They were just living their regular life. And Moses was up on this mountain with God. The people down below, well, they were were getting pretty nervous. All of these people, they were like, what's going on? Where is Moses? Is everything okay? So after a while, these people were going a little cuckoo. And so they asked their friend, Aaron, who was Moses' brother, Aaron, do us a big favor, buddy, build us a golden calf. He's like, what? A golden calf? Okay. Just hand me all of your golden jewelry and I'll melt it down, right? Okay. And so they did. And he built them this beautiful idol. Because these Israelites were, like I said, very confused. They didn't know what to do. They were overwhelmed. All these feelings stirring around in their head, they were making them go crazy. Because their leader, Moses, was up on this mountain. And you guys, it had been a very long time. In fact, it had been 80 days. In these 80 days, they did not know what to do. They did not have a leader. That's like, imagine if America, our president, just went up a mountain and disappeared for 80 days. We didn't hear from him. We didn't know what was going on. We were just told, hey, I'm going up on a mountain to talk to God for 80 days. Yeah. So the Israelites went crazy and decided to bow down to a golden calf. And Moses up here on this mountain was talking to God and getting the 10 commandments. And God said, hey, Moses, I think you should probably go back down because, the Israelites decided to build a golden calf and worship it. And so Moses, he comes on down from the mountain. He goes, doo-doo-doo. And he's like, Aaron, what's going on, bud? And it's like, oh, no, they just asked me to do this. And the people are like, well, what did you expect? You disappeared. What were we supposed to do? We were overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed. Does that make it okay to just choose to worship something other than God? No. And unfortunately, there was a consequence for their choices. They felt overwhelmed. They worshiped a calf, and God sent a plague because of their choice. Did they have another choice? Could they have just waited patiently for Moses to come back down? Yes. They had plenty of other choices, but they chose to worship a golden calf instead. And here's the deal, guys. The Bible is so cool because we see that there are so many other options, right? So this was what the Israelites chose when they felt overwhelmed. But you guys ever heard of a guy named Jesus? That's right. In the Bible, we get to hear all about another person who felt overwhelmed. And that guy was Jesus. It says in Matthew 4, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. The wilderness, that is where the Israelites were wandering. And it says even more so, after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. The Israelites were getting food. They were getting manna rained down from heaven. Jesus hadn't eaten for 40 days and for 40 nights. Jesus was wandering around in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, had absolutely no food. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know about you, but when I haven't eaten, I get hangry. And when I get hangry, you better believe that I am overwhelmed and confused. I feel all of the emotions. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel confused. And I do not make great choices. I should. And I can. But I usually do not. But Jesus, he went 40 days and 40 nights with no food, and he was tempted by the devil. And here's what it says in the Bible. that the devil went to him and he said, hey, if you're actually the Son of God, you see those rocks over there? Jesus, you see those? How about you take those rocks and you turn them into a delicious loaf of bread? Ooh. When you haven't eaten for 40 days and 40 nights, that sounds delicious. Jesus chose to respond to him like this. In verse 4, it is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on the word from the mouth of God. Jesus quoted scripture to him when he was feeling all of the same feelings that we feel. Jesus was human. He was feeling what we felt. And that is what he chose to respond with. But the devil didn't even stop there. He kept tempting Jesus over and over and over again. He tempted him until finally Jesus responded and said, away from me, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve only him. Jesus, he felt the exact same way as the Israelites and we feel so very often, and that is overwhelmed. And overwhelmed is basically a word for a million emotions in one. And when you're overwhelmed and confused, it is really easy to make bad choices, just like the Israelites did. But we have a choice on how we respond. And we also have an example in the Bible of how to respond. And when we look at how Jesus responded, that's how we can know. And our response to our emotions and our response to being overwhelmed should be to give it all to God. It's a really ugly thing. But if we give it to God, if we give all of our feelings to God, he gives us something in return. Hope. He can help us feel hopeful when we don't feel like there's anything to be hopeful about. He helps us find hope when it feels like everything is hopeless. Just like our Bible verse reminds us in Philippians 4:6, it says, don't worry about anything. We don't have to be overwhelmed. It says, no matter what happens, tell God about everything. We can give it to him. Ask and pray and give thanks to him. We're gonna feel overwhelmed. Our emotions are sometimes gonna get the best of us. We might mess up like the Israelites did, but guess what? Jesus already came and forgave us. And the next time that we feel overwhelmed, we can choose to give it to God so that we can have the hope that he has promised us. See you guys next time.